Vinyl community, what's happening? It's A-Dub. I'm back with a quick vinyl finds. Yeah, I got a bunch of really sweet records to show you here. I got a little surprise back there, as you can probably see. But I'm going to get to that last here. Yeah, it's been a little while since I made a video. Sorry about that. Kind of busy guy, as most of you may know, and I've been keeping up with you guys on Facebook and checking out and posting a few photos here and there. First, I want to say thank you to my beautiful wife for picking me up some awesome Valentine's Day gifts. Vinyl records and a DVD. I'll show you in just one second. Okay, here's what she got, and she nailed it. She watched some of my previous videos as clues to what to get me, and she nailed it with this one. Is what I have playing in the background. This is Pink Mountaintops, the debut album by Pink Mountaintops. A while back, I made a video and I had another Pink Mountaintops album, and I was just blown away by it. And this is just equally as awesome as the other one I showed you. This is their self-titled. It says here, the self-titled debut released from Black Mountaintops Stephen McBean under the moniker Pink Mountaintops. So yes, definitely check this out. So good. So good. I love it. I'm glad I discovered the Pink Mountaintops. And this one, she totally nailed it with this one, because I've been kind of listening to this guy for a while. Not really knowledgeable about all of his albums or his music. I've known a few of his albums. This one I never heard, and she was previewing them, and she heard me mention them, and she got this one. She's a big fan of music too. Awesome, so good. This is Sufjan Stevens. Greetings from Michigan, the Great Lakes State. Greetings, Michigan. Just call it Michigan. So good. It's a double LP. Gatefold. We love gatefolds. Here's the inside. Such a great record. I mean, I've listened to this like all the way through 3 times already, and I just got this yesterday. So, it was the day before yesterday. She gave me one early, which was the day before yesterday, and then I got this one that just arrived in the mail. The Pink Mountaintops just arrived in the mail today. So, anyway, check this album out. Sufjan Stevens. A lot of you know who Sufjan Stevens is. The only other album I really heard by him was Illinois, and then there's some compilations or things that I've heard him on. But awesome, so good. Such a great record. And then she got me this, because this is when we first started dating. I was listening to a little bit of Mumford Sons, and we'd talk and listen to music. And Mumford Sons was one of the bands that we listened to. This is Mumford Sons, The Road to Red Rocks on DVD. It's kind of cool because well, not only because I like Mumford Sons, but last spring we went to Colorado when we went to a concert at Red Rocks. We went to see Bon Iver at Red Rocks. So this video pretty much captures the spirit of what a show at Red Rocks is like, and it's pretty freaking amazing. If you have a chance to go to Red Rocks in your lifetime to see a show, to see a concert, you have to do it. Red Rocks is probably the most beautiful place you could ever experience music. It's just so beautiful. It's like being in like a musical church or something like that. It's so awesome. Spiritual experience, I could say. Okay, and this is a reissue that I've been really excited about. I knew about it for a while. I just didn't buy it until just recently. I was a big fan of these guys back in the 90s, and this album in particular, and their album following this one. This is Live, Throwing Copper. Such a great 90s album, one of the best to come out of the 90s. It's very poppy, very rock, very well produced. It's pretty diverse too, as far as the musical, the way the songs are written and stuff. But definitely a great album. You have to check this out. It's on Music on Vinyl. In the past, I've said that I do have a copy of the Jeff Buckley Grace on Music on Vinyl, and I wasn't really happy with the sound on it. But this one sounds awesome. This pressing sounds amazing. So definitely check this out if you're a fan of 90s music. Live, Throwing Copper. And this one I discovered through word of mouth in the VC on the Facebook page. It was a documentary I was suggested to watch. I watched it. I was blown away by this guy and his music, and the story is unbelievable. This is the soundtrack for Searching for Sugarman. Pretty much the story of Sixto Rodriguez, essentially. Singer-songwriter from Detroit, Michigan, that released a couple albums in probably the early 70s, like 71, 72-ish, or 68, or 69. Can't quite remember. But they didn't do anything in the United States. And then the story goes that a girl from America went to visit somebody in South Africa, brought this record, or his first record, Cold Fact, over, and it began to spread like wildfire. People were making copies and giving them to all their friends. You gotta watch the documentary to really understand it. It's so good. But anyway, they thought this guy was dead, They tracked him down, living in squalor in Detroit. They flew him over to South Africa, and apparently the people reacted like Elvis Presley was reincarnated, or like Elvis Presley had returned from the from the grave and put on a show, or you know what I mean? It was like that, seeing him, because they thought this guy was dead, and he's not. He's still alive. He was just on David Letterman too. Check out his music. It's so good. Heart-wrenching, folky, singer-songwritery. It's got some blues influence in there. Definitely check this out. Sixto Rodriguez, remember that guy's name. This one my wife discovered, and I fell in love with the album after she told me about it. I'm going to butcher his name. His name is Michael Kiwanuka. Home Again. Awesome album. This is very, he's from the UK. It's very soulful, kind of singer-songwritery, a little bit of funk, a little bit of soul in there. Really good stuff. The recording sounds like it was recorded back in the 60s too, which is really kind of cool. It adds a really cool soundscape, I guess you could say, to the overall vibe of this record. Really good music, really well-written songs. I highly recommend checking this out. This one, a lot of you are aware of this one. I just never owned it for some reason. I just keep putting it off. It went out of print for a little bit. Finally back in print by a four-man with beards. This is Niko, Chelsea Girl. Classic album. High-quality songs. She's not the best singer in the world, but the album is awesome. It doesn't matter if somebody's really good at something, as long as it's awesome. This is awesome. A lot of you know her from The Velvet Underground and Niko, produced by Andy Warhol. This is her, I'm not sure if this is her debut solo album, but definitely check this out. Niko, Chelsea Girl, you gotta have it in your collection. I'm very glad to have it now, finally. Then I remember a while back watching the Ken Burns jazz documentary, and it opens up with this really awesome song that I could never identify, and I was just blown away by the sound. It's like very bluesy and it's jazzy, and it's like ethereal and dreamy. But that song is called Tanya, and it's by Dexter Gordon off his album One Flight Up. Definitely check this album out. As far as I'm concerned, I'm no aficionado on jazz, but this is a 10 right here. Dexter Gordon, One Flight Up. It's pressed by Cisco, and it is on the Blue Note label. It's on clearance on Elusive Disc for $14.99, I believe. I think it was normally like $30, so half off. You best get it because it sounds awesome. I'm sure the reason why it's discontinued is probably they're going to come up with a 45 RPM, double 200 gram vinyl. But this sounds freaking amazing. You have to check it out. Dexter Gordon, One Flight Up. A lot of you probably already know it, but this is new to me here, so I love it. Okay, another one from the late 1990s. I've had this in every form, current form. Obviously, not 8-track or whatever. But this is one of the biggest, most influential albums on me as far as being a musician goes, because it taught me how to use chords versus power chords, different types of chords, that you can use it in a kind of like an indie rock or a rock sense without sounding like you're trying to be, I don't know, arrogant about it, I guess. This is Built to Spill, Keep It Like a Secret. These guys ushered in a whole new wave of bands that, were to follow. This is, I guess, mildly psychedelic, mildly poppy, very well played musicians. Musicianship, I guess I could say. So good. Post shoegaze, I guess you could call it, maybe. But so awesome. Keep It Like a Secret, Built to Spill. Finally back in print, so if you have the opportunity to buy it, I highly recommend it, because the originals are ridiculously overpriced. Even the reissues are up there. But now it's reissued properly, but on double vinyl versus a single vinyl. Amazing album. Built to Spill, Keep It Like a Secret. Remember that. Okay, and this is one of the reissue series that Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs is doing for Bob Dylan. This is bringing it all back home. Double 200 gram vinyl, 45 RPM. As far as the stereo version of this album goes, nothing can top this. This is amazing. I have originals in stereo. One of them is absolutely immaculate. Sounds nowhere as good as this. This is amazing. Very open, very wide open stereo spread. Just sounds beautiful, lush. You can hear the reverberation and the vocals and stuff like that. Just really good. And then finally, last but not least, there it is right there. Bob Dylan, the original mono recordings. 8 LP box set, his first 8 albums in mono from the first generation mono tapes. It also comes with a really nice book. I'm not going to pull them all out of here, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about them, since I have all of these original, most of them in mono as well. In comparison to the originals, sonically blows them out of the water. This is unbelievable how good these albums sound. It sounds like his early stuff with just him and his acoustic. It sounds like Bob Dylan is sitting in here, you know, with his harmonica, his acoustic guitar, singing songs, giving us a private concert. That's how real these albums sound. Now, when we get into the albums like Bringing It All Back Home and Highway 61 Revisited, there are details I've never heard before on the albums. I've listened to these albums so many times. What I mean by details, I don't mean like, you know, oh, I never noticed that guitar line or, you know, that tambourine or whatever. I mean by I can hear the tone of the instruments, like the sound of the particular, like the kick drum, for instance. Like I was like on a Rolling Stone off Highway 61. I could hear what the drum, the kick drum, sounded like, the actual drum, not just some low-frequency thud that was kind of buried within a mix. I could hear the tone of the drum, like the wood, you know what I mean? The cymbals, the way the cymbal, the clarity of the cymbals. I could hear the stick, you know what I mean, hitting the cymbal. The guitar tone, the clean, tight tones that are coming out of the guitar amplifiers and stuff like that. Unfrickin' believable. So, this is on sale for $139 on Pop Market, and it still is. So if you have the means, and if you're a Dylan fan, or if you want to replace all your originals with pristine, brand new ones, this can do that. So I highly recommend you picking it up, because it's unbelievable. You will not regret it. I'm a little late on getting this compared to some people in the VC. Some people in the VC already have it. But, man, I couldn't be happier about it. And I'm very, very happy with that. As you can see, I got some of my originals back here. I'm considering selling those, offloading those. And that's a hard decision because, you know, from a collector standpoint, yeah, you have the originals. Like, they were pressed and released when this artist released those albums. So it's hard for me to, you know, not. You know, you can understand why I kind of want to keep them, but at the same time, I'll never listen to those albums again. I'll listen to these. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think I would keep all my my UK imports on the CBS label and the absolute pristine originals, either in stereo and mono. I'm not going to get rid of the stereo versions because, you know, obviously these are all in mono. But if I were to get rid of them, I would probably get rid of the less than stellar mono pressings that I have. So, yeah, let me know what you think and drop me some comments. And by the way, I'm shooting this on my iPhone. Hopefully it works. I just got a new iPhone. So let me know how this turns out. See you guys.